taking the time just to solo creep his panda. He's moved his Tinker away to harass here at Infi's Expo, but there's too many towers. He sees a workshop coming up, so he is now confident of Infi's unit mix, and is now actually going to put some damage on this farm. It's going to take him a while if he doesn't put down a factory or pick up some mercs, but he does pick up some mercs, and I imagine he's just sort of doing this because he has nothing better to do with his time for the Tinker, because there's nothing else he can do. But as this panda comes down with the rest of the army, he'll probably just move these units away. He doesn't even wait to finish off the farm by the looks of it. He just moves straight in, and Infi's was running to his expansion, but was intercepted by all of Thu's units, and Thu just has such a powerful army now because he's just putting up dryads. He's not waiting to attack the bears, and so he's going to have quite a powerful push here. I'm not sure how much damage he's going to be able to do, but it'll probably be a fair bit. And immediately putting damage on the arcane tower, Thu should put down a pocket factory as soon as possible, just because they do so much good harassing damage against peasant line, things like that. And this water elemental will presumably be dispelled. Yeah, it is. And so some nice free experience there for Thu. And Zeppelin in here just picking up the Mountain King because it was a bit low, and it is one of the only melee units in Thu's army, and so it's a bit hard to get it to actually do anything useful apart from just bolting occasionally and staying back. And if we take a look at food counts now, it is 54 to 50. Thu's on 50, so he's mining a bit less because he doesn't have an expansion up, but he does actually have one built and is just creeping just with the Ancient of War, and that's quite nice because he's not going to get the experience, but it's going to more than pay for itself in terms of the amount of extra gold he'll be able to mine because of the time saved. And Thu with just such a dominating army here because he doesn't have much invested in worker units, and so even though he's at a bit of a food disadvantage, he has a hero advantage, especially 4-1 versus 5-3 now, and that's really sort of really working well for him. You can see he's putting up these pocket factories in sort of fairly well hidden places, and so it's quite hard for Infi to actually attack them without putting his army in a really awkward position. And lots of damage just being put on this Mountain King by the occasional harassing Clockwork Goblin. And this workshop's now going to go down as well, so very nice by Thu, because I think that was the only Infi's only workshop. Yeah, it was. And so no more mortar teams for a while, which could be nice because of all the Dryads that he's been building. And Dryads are so essential to this army just because those water elementals can do so much damage if left undispelled for too long. And as you can see, the Tinker in this matchup is not being used to sort of block off the enemy army. It's being used to just produce units that can do a lot of splash damage. And so he's putting his factories further back in hidden positions away from things like towers and not in the line of fire, so if Infi does want to attack them, he'll have to go really out of his way. And Thu's really pushed Infi back now. His whole army's moving away, and Thu's really able to take out this town hall and probably the rest of the two arcane sanctums as well. And so not looking very good for Infi at this point, though. I think Thu's expansion's just started now. He's just got his 5th wisp in, and his Ancient of War might be moving up. And Infi actually does scout the expansion. Or actually, did he? I'm not sure. It is night time. No, he didn't scout the expansion. So, but he might have guessed, just based on the Ancient of War being there. And Infi continuing to build from these two sort of doomed sanctums, which seems a bit foolish because he's just sort of sacrificing these units. And Pocket Factory doing a lot of damage to the arcane sanctums. And I think he's actually able to move out all these units, and I'm not sure. I guess Thu knows best, and this one factory will be able to take out the 2 half hit point sanctums, or just on its own. And Infi coming in here, he probably shouldn't build another expansion now, just because he's a bit of an economic disadvantage after having lost so much and having to rebuild all his production buildings, which I assume he will be doing if he hasn't done already. He's rebuilt his workshop. He hasn't rebuilt anything else yet. And yeah, the Pocket Factory was enough, as you see, just to take out the two factories, the two sanctums. And Tinker coming in here, but might get bolted, and yeah, he does get surrounded, and his staff is still on cooldown, so he will have to TV out. He TP'd out immediately because he knew he couldn't get out. He couldn't fight his way out, so he took as little damage as possible because he wouldn't have actually dealt that much damage. You notice that Tinker actually has +6 damage, which means that he's gone for engineering upgrade level 3 rather than factory level 3. This might be for a number of reasons, but mainly because the factory is just such a when he gets Robo Goblin, especially at level 6, which he's quite close to, the extra engineering upgrade is quite useful, as is the extra move speed and attack damage, because it all adds up on attacking buildings, which is really what Infi needs, or what th000 needs at this point, because as you see, almost all of his army is piercing. He's finally got a couple bears out with presumably Master Upgrade. Yeah, he does have Master Upgrade. So he'll be looking to attack either now or in about a minute when he has a couple more bears. Yeah, he looks like he's waiting for a couple more bears, and Infi's actually left a couple water elementals behind, and these just get dispelled, and sort of that's free experience for the Tinker, which is always quite nice. And as you can see, Infi's not rebuilt his expansion yet, and he was scouting to see if th000 was building one, and he's just chasing his wisp down with a footman. You can afford to do this with your footmen at this point of the game, because they're not that useful for attacking against a predominantly ranged army, and the only things that aren't ranged are the heroes, which take reduced damage, and the bears, which just tear apart footmen. And another Pocket Factory in a similar place, and th000 should watch out for this mortar team, which can do a lot of damage to unarmored units like Dryads if he's not careful. And he does actually move, sort of, it's almost overkill. He moves his entire army just to kill that one mortar team, and the rest of Infi's army is coming in now, and lots of area of effect damage going off on it. And as you can see, he's bringing in militia from behind as well, but th000's really just ignoring that. He's going for the high DPS units and things like mortar teams, and leaving things like the Spellbreakers behind. And his Tinker does reach level 6 now. I'm not sure if he'll go for Robo Goblin form immediately. Yeah, he does. And so he won't be able to be bolted or anything anymore, and only level 3 on the Mount King, and Infi GG's out. So I hope you enjoyed that. As you could see, it was sort of a bit one-sided, but sort of one-sided towards a fairly unusual strategy, a strategy that works quite well as well. We didn't see all the sort of possible range of the Tinker in that game. What I do often see th000 do with the Tinker, especially on this map, but on a couple other small maps as well, is if the human is just teching and doesn't have enough towers, you can just put a factory in there, and those Robo-Goblins really just rip apart the human economy. And since he's teching, he can't rebuild them immediately, and it really is... It can do a lot of economic damage, and then you can come in with a really domineering tier 2 army before the humans built up their army, or economy and army again, and from that point on, you can just sort of capitalize on your advantage again and again until you finally win. And another thing you'll notice is th000 did go for that really early expansion, and that was just because Tinker is very nice against a large number of small hit point units like footmen, and so in the early game it's fairly hard for footmen to stay in any one place for too long. And so if the Tree of Life had been at full health, then it would have been almost impossible for Infi to take it out. But Infi did have really good timing on taking out that expansion. He brought in his Archmage first just to scout it, and then as soon as he saw that, he had his footmen running up. And really, they were the ones who sort of managed to take it out, because th000 had used a Pocket Factory to creep it, so it was still on cooldown. And yeah, obviously Panda second was quite important as well, because it really allowed him to increase the AoE damage of his army. And I think Tinker is sort of really is a AoE hero. He doesn't look like it, but those the factories produce splash damage units, which sort of spread themselves out as well. So really, it is a very AoE dominated army when you go for Tinker or Panda. And then Yeah. So I thought that was quite an interesting game. Actually, I do enjoy seeing Tinker first, just because it's a bit unusual. But I hope you enjoyed that. I've been Champesque. Please feel free to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks.